You spent roughly 150 days with the GOAT Michael Jordan during the 1994 season, and I'm sure you get asked a lot about that. But what is one kind of behind the scenes story that gives people a glimpse into Michael Jordan, the person?
The first thing I always tell everybody is that he really, when those small, tiny opportunities to be just a normal person, he was a normal person. Okay. Now, when you're Michael Jordan, how many minutes in an hour, how many hours in a day are you just, relaxing, sitting back, watching TV, going to a grocery store, or going to a movie? But those times when he had that, he wanted to have fun like all the other guys, and like well, not like the other guys, but he was older, and he always looked at them as a young him trying to get to where he had attained. Okay, and to watch that on a daily basis, how much he loved that locker room. He loved all the Barons players. He appreciated and respected the visiting players who got all the pictures and all the autographs that they wanted, as well as the home guys. But it was so rare. And I bet you have friends, that he has friends rather, that to this day still don't get a chance to just see him, do normal, play ping pong, play Yahtzee, golf, whatever it is, and play one on one, three on three, whatever it is. We because of those 150 days, I had those opportunities, and again, he treated everybody extremely well. It wasn't as if he flaunted his money, his checkbook, or his fame, but you have to understand when you're him, everybody around you wants something from him.
I've heard stories of him and Terry Francona would be playing cards or Yahtzee into the wee hours of the morning in the clubhouse back at the Hoover Met.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, 3, 4 o'clock. Neither one of them, this is a little secret sauce. Neither one of them sleep a whole lot. I mean, to this day, they're the kind of guys that operate on very, very little sleep. And I can't speak so much for Jordan, but for Tito, he needs that energy, and he needs to be around, a ballpark. He needs to be around guys to really express who he is, and he's been so special to me. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing without him. And the two of those worlds collided, and they were very, very similar.
Well, when did you know that Jordan was serious about baseball? Because this was before my time, but from what I understand, there was a lot of people that were kind of, skeptical about, is this a publicity stunt or is this something real, or what
Well,
did you see there?
I thought it was a publicity stunt and skeptical. I think it's fair for me to admit that the way I broke it down, Sky, was I would tell people there's no way that the world's most famous athlete is going to get on a plane. He's going to wind up in Birmingham, Alabama, right? Then he's got to take a bus or car or whatever it is, 20 minutes to a suburb called Hoover. And then he's going to hang out with me and the rest of the team for the next 5 months. I said, you're absolutely crazy. When he finally got there, the next negative connotation was he'll be gone in 3 days. He'll be gone in a week. This will all be just, a memory. He's not going to sit on a bus, and he's not going to get, $20 a day in meal money. This is, we had our fun, and it was like a summer camp. And like everything the guy does, he just proves you wrong. And that was the thing, that 5 months. He rode every bus. He was in every hotel we were at. He was at the weights. He was at early BP. He did everything just to prove that he can do it.
How did Tito and the rest of the team take that when they first heard that he was coming? How did you see their relationship amongst the team kind of evolve over that season too?
Well, Tito was the perfect guy. I mean, he had been a second generation big leaguer himself. His father played, he played. So he was the perfect guy to conduct this season. There's no doubt in my mind. Um, and the rest of the guys, you have 25, 26 guys, and there was a group, definitely a group of guys. It's split into thirds. One third were excited and were happy to have him and be a good teammate. And if he helped get them to the big leagues, great. There was a third that was negative, that was like, this guy, I worked my butt off through high school, through college, through travel ball, and he was just handed a double A. Okay. And then there was the ones that were somewhere in the middle. Hey, might as well get an autograph. I'm with him. Might as well get, whatever else I can get out of this. But I think I saw that myself. It was definitely, there was 8 people who believed it, 8 people who didn't believe it, and then another 8 that were kind of, let's go with the flow.
How much did you see Barons shirts everywhere and Barons be put on the map after Space Jam came out?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. It's now 2025, and there's still Space Jam and Barons and Jordan paraphernalia that is still gaining momentum, gathering a lot of money. It's never going to stop, nor should it. But there was an explosion. The only thing that would caution people is because he was assigned so late to the Barons, it wasn't as if we had a chance to really prepare for it. Okay, and that's an unknown dynamic. That with about 3 days left to go before the plane left from spring training Sarasota to Birmingham, he could have gone to Nashville. He could have quit. He could have done anyway. But about 3 days left, it was like our boss Bill Hardikoff got the call and said, "He's coming your way. You better be prepared."
I had heard, I believe that you had told me this one time that they wanted to send him to single A or something, but didn't have the necessary facilities and everything to kind of handle all the fans and all that kind of stuff. Is that true?
Well, I think we were perfect. Well, I don't. I think we were perfect because of his age. That had one thing to do with it. You can't have what was he at that time? 30-year-old in Double A. We also had the biggest locker room and training room facilities, and then the key and the trump card was that Dr. Andrews has been and was the team doctor for a long time, and of course they are based in Birmingham. So everything just was perfect. It wouldn't have fit in Kannapolis. We were in South Bend. That was a little bit tough. South Bend close to Chicago, but they just didn't have the facility that we did. We have at Hoover Met. They had a huge training room as much as anything else. Literally, training table, room, hot tub, and all that stuff, which is part of what you need for preparation.
What do you think he really wanted to accomplish in baseball?
Well, it's been like my goal, which is respect. That's the one thing that you want is for people to believe you and respect what you're trying to do. I don't think he had a number, but I definitely, absolutely know that he wanted to prove people wrong. And it's interesting because I would talk with the guy who wrote the story in Sports Illustrated. He did not write the headline. He makes that perfectly clear, the headline that said, "Bag it, Michael." But Michael was so mad at that he banned Sports Illustrated. He wouldn't talk to them. I don't know if he does now, but he didn't. And again, so now he's on a mission to prove to these people. And the thing that still to this day freaks me out is he had 3 home runs in that big ballpark at Hoover Met, and you can't fake it. You just absolutely cannot fake it. So 3 home runs. He had 50 something RBIs. He had 30 something stolen bases. He certainly accomplished more than anybody really thought he could.